What's up, you guys? I'm about to make this video real quick just because I don't have that much storage. Y'all, I really need me a new phone at this point because I don't be having enough storage. But I wanted to do this video just to talk about the Bible. I'm gonna do another video where we're gonna be doing Bible study because this is something that we really need to do because I'm just like, I'd be a little irritated by the rhetoric that be roaming these streets about the Bible. And I too used to be that very girl. You can even ask my mama that question if the Bible was real. I am the same girl that did not grow up in the church. A lot of y'all have been to church more times than me. I've been to church several times, but I didn't grow up on it wasn't no consistent thing for me. It was more so on like New Year's and Easter when I went to the church, or maybe when my mama was going through something and we pop into church once a year or something like that. Or if I go down the country and I'm with my family down the country, so now I gotta go to church because they down the country, they go to church. My great grandmama lived at the church, okay? But my mama and her mama, they're not churchy people. So I didn't grow up in that. So for a girl like me, who was not taught this stuff. I was not taught nothing about Adam and Eve, taught none of this stuff, nothing. I was taught nothing. It is through my relationship, through me going through toxicity in my life that led me to God. Me wanting change in my life, wanting better for myself in my life, that led me to God, led me to building a relationship with Him. And through that, ever since that day during the pandemic, I told my mom, because I was like, man, this stuff is fake. Everything, I just started to believe that because I'm just sick of the world and the fakeness of the world. The world is so fake, and I'm not a fake person. I hate fakeness. I hate all the lies and all of that, and I just hate fluff. Like, I just hate it for real. So because I'm the spirit of truth. Now that I know I'm the spirit of truth, and now that's why I know I always stood on truth, and I'm not scared to tell the truth. Like, of course, depending on who you're dealing with, you gotta tell some white lies. But, overall, I'm a person that's about truth. And I just was like, man, this stuff with COVID, they making people think that you gotta get all this bull crap. I'm like, I walk by faith. I don't walk by what everybody else is doing. You're not going to scare me into getting that and all of that because of, you might die if you don't have it. I already had COVID before it was even known to the world. I had it back in January of 2020, before it even was revealed to us in March. Me, my best friend, we all had it. We was down bad. I was down bad for literally 2 weeks, down bad. In a month, it took a month for me to get over this harsh cough. So it was during that time when I was like, man, this stuff is fake. Everything is fake. And then I think my mom had said something about the Bible or something. I don't know if she said something, but I remember I was on the phone with her and I was like, man, this stuff is this stuff is at this point, I don't even believe the Bible is even real. And she was like, well, man, don't go that far now. See, she knows stuff and she knows this stuff, but you never really taught it to me. I forgive her for not teaching me this stuff. I just think that I don't know what her real deal is with that, but I wasn't taught this stuff. And it's like, she knows it. And as I started to get into this myself, she started being like, well, that all started back during Cain and Abel. And I'm like, who the heck is Cain and Abel? It's like, you know this stuff. You know it, but I don't know it. Like, why is that? But this ain't even to talk about that. But it's just the fact to say that I didn't know none of this stuff. I said, damn, that stuff, everybody be talking about the Bible and the Bible this and the Bible that. The Bible probably fake, like everybody else saying. Like a human had to have made it. It was man-made. Like somebody had to have made this thing. Like all the books are made by a human. They all written by a human. So somebody made it up. Man, the white man made it up. Okay, and it was through that, right after that, everything transpired in my life. What it took for me, I went through a whole situation that caused me to get closer to God. My daughter won't have to wait. I'm gonna call her right back. I'm gonna make this video quick because my baby FaceTiming me. But it was that whole situation that led me to building a relationship with God. Just me being pregnant, me during my pregnancy sitting down to myself, staying to myself, and really just thought I was talking and praying. And I just started talking to God. I used to pace the living room and just used to like be talking to God. And he led me to order the Bible. And before I even ordered the Bible, my best friend at the time, she used to go to church. And she would bring me this daily bread book. And one day I opened it. I just like read it because I was like, well, I was just on it. I was just led to, read it. She brought it to me. And when I read it one day, it made me like, feel good a little bit. So I was like, oh, it was like giving me like some insight. So I started to awaken or whatever. So then he led me to order this big book. Hold on, y'all, hold on. This girl, she missed her mama, y'all. But see, I forgot where I left off at, but it was through during that time of me, being pregnant with my second baby. This is why I owe it all to my second baby, because me being pregnant with her really got me closer to God. So right before, so that was 2020, and in 2021, it was actually like the end of 2021 or like very beginning of January. Yeah, it was like the end of 2021 because I moved in February of 2022. So I ordered the Bible the end of 2021. And, because God led me to order it, I was like, let me just order this thing or whatever. And that's what I did. And I never read it. I didn't even never read it until I got to Texas. Once he made me move and he took me on my journey, when I got to Texas is when I started trying to read this thing. Y'all can see it on my channel. Like, y'all see at first I was reading my daughter's children's book. And even that, I was led, during that time when I was still in Maryland, God had me to go to Ollie's and buy that book, that little children's book. We was in there and I saw that book. I was like, let me get this book. I don't even know what made me get it, but I do know what made me get it. It was God. He was preparing me to go. And when I was getting ready to leave Maryland, and as I was packing up, because if y'all see my video back then, y'all see I had to leave a lot behind. I had to hurry up and pack fast because, I felt like my life was in jeopardy if I wouldn't have left when I left. I had 2 weeks to pack up everything and get the hell out of Maryland. So that's what I did. And as I was packing, I was like, I only came with my nail stuff, the stuff to do my nails, my Bible, and I had a couple pair of underwear for me, and I just had my stuff for my kids. Like we came down to Texas with nothing really. I had my laptop in there, my iPads, all my gadgets, my Bible, my daughter's children's Bible, my planner journal that had all my plans that I wanted to do in, like my goals and aspirations and stuff. That's all I came to Texas with. And when I got here is when I got into my book. And as I started reading, I'm like, oh, I'm living this life. I'm living it. So I did this video basically to say, like, you cannot negate. It doesn't matter what you define yourself as, because I don't define myself as Christian. I don't define myself as a Muslim, even though I do feel like I lean more towards the Muslim practices because they really take this stuff more serious to me than Christians do. I don't hear Christians being consistent with like fast. They don't take fasting serious. Some do, but it's just like Christians, they celebrate pagan holidays. Muslims don't do that. And they, to me, practice more of what God wants for us than Christians do. And I'm gonna just be real with y'all. And it's just like a lot of their practices, and that, like, I feel is more consistent with what God wants for his people than Christianity does. And after doing research, and you understand that Christianity stems from capitalism, and capitalism really is the enemy. And we're gonna even get into that. That's why I really wanna read this whole thing. And as I'm reading and God give me my insight on this stuff like he's been doing, we're gonna read this because it's something about Paul that don't sit right with me. I really feel like when Paul went to Rome, he brung back a lot of that stuff. But we're gonna get into that. But this is the truth. The truth is in this book. The truth is in this book. And yes, a lot of stuff has been taken out. And that's why I want us to go over Samuel. And I want us to go over the Babylon captivity so we can understand where this stuff started from. Why people be saying, oh, the Bible not real, all of that. Because they took our art. They took it. They stole it. They went through everything, switched up things. Yes, they did switch up some things. So for the people who don't believe that the Bible was real, I understand what you're saying. You're like, oh, a man wrote it, but you have to understand that God first conveyed the message to Moses, to Noah, to all of these certain people that have written these stories onto scrolls. They wrote it onto scrolls to pass it down generation to generation. They stored it in caves so that they can pass it down generations to generations. And they've taken pieces of this, they've altered it, they've done a lot to it. This is why it's so small. This is why it's so small. This is why when you read stuff, you still have more questions, like me, because I'm like, y'all just cut it off. Like, it's like they'll say something and then it's like, okay, where's the rest of the information on this? Like, where's the real tea about Adam and Eve? Like, people wrote books, just like people nowadays, you write books about your life. And another person, you might sell it to a publisher or to another person, and they might switch some things up and add some stuff in it, take it out. That's the same thing that has been done here. Like I said before, just like the game of telephone. If y'all ever played telephone in school, y'all know you start off with your message. By the time it gets to the last person, they done screwed things up. They done took one of the characters out, threw another name in for the character, switched the scene up. Things got switched up. That's the same thing that has happened here. But when you have a real relationship with God, you can tell what's true in this and what's not, especially when you're living this. And I have lived several of these characters. And that's why I'm doing my videos. And like the one I got coming about Abraham, it's up there. I just got to upload it. But y'all see that stuff before y'all see this video. But I'm living this stuff, you guys. A person that didn't grow up in the church is living this. God has led me to this. I have a relationship with the Father. With the Father. I have a relationship with the Father. I met the Father. The Father. God. The creator of all things on this earth. And people just, kill me. I was watching The Real Tim and y'all ran out of storage. So I gotta hurry and wrap this up. But when I heard them say that, yes, they were not the Israelites, we are the descendants of those people. A lot of them will say, like, they have a video where they saying we are a spiritual people. It's like, how y'all believe that we are a spiritual people? Everyone knows this but us. We are a spiritual people. And if you're a spiritual, you can't be spiritual without being connected to the source. You can't but not believe in the source. And these same people that tell us our history and tell us that we're American Indians and all of this stuff, we done had so many names. So I do believe that, yeah, we probably was called the American Indians. We've been called the Israelites, but we really truly are the descendants of Israel. And then somebody was debating them in the comments saying, like, because she tried to say that Israelites is a religion. Israelites isn't a religion. Israelites come from Jacob, which his name was changed to Israel, and his sons are who we are. So it's like, she's still trying to say that if you take your information from Bible as your source, that's religion. So it's like they really believe just because you read the Bible, that means you're religious and you're going off of a religious standpoint. But yet you can recommend other books, worldly books to people, and that's supposed to be validity over the messages of God. Like, and it be these same people who really don't, like, you can tell people don't really believe in God. They really believe that they are this and that. Like, yes, we have power. God has given that to us though. So for some of these people, bro, that's why I was just like, I'm real cautious now of listening, watching certain channels. And in the beginning of my journey, I would watch certain things, but it's like now a lot of people really want to take ownership over who we are. They want to believe that you're spiritual, but you don't even, to be spiritual means that you still believe in God, the real creator. It doesn't have to mean that you believe in all these miniature gods and all these idols and all of that, but to believe in God, the source. So, seeing that, but in that video, she said they did have, like, she made some valid points. But she really believed that these fake Jews, is because a lot of people have not read this. You can't tell me you've read this if you still haven't come to the conclusion about certain things. Like, them people ain't read this. They didn't probably ran away from the church too. That's what's given with her and her man. It's giving y'all ran away from the church, and y'all, the church has messed up everybody. So now people believe that this, because the church preaches this, and the church don't even really touch on the Old Testament like that. When I hear a lot of these Christians talk, most of them talking from New Testament, or they only going from Psalms, Proverbs. Nobody really touches on the real stories of the people in the Old Testament. I'm living the stories of the people in the Old Testament. I haven't got so much into the New Testament yet, because I believe the New Testament, truthfully, is when these Catholics, them other gods, them Philistines, them Canaanites, when all of them got a hold of our ark and they didn't change stuff. That's what I really believe the new covenant is, if you want to be real. But we're going to see, because I'm going to get all into this, and God going to keep leading away from me, baby. So before this video ends, if it ends, because my storage, y'all take this, and I'll see y'all in the next video. But we're going to really be chopping it up about this, okay? But it's some real tea in this, and you can't tell me this, because I'm living this stuff. And I didn't grow up in the church. I wasn't privy to that. I wasn't privy to the information that y'all had. I had to learn this stuff on my own, and through God getting me away, like he did Abraham, sending me to a land where I know nobody. He gave me 2 weeks to move and get out of here. I've been on this same journey like Joseph. That's why I said when I first started reading this Bible, I'm like, I'm living the life of Joseph. I'm living the life of Abraham. I'm living the life of Jeremiah. I'm like Daniel. Like, I'm like these dang on people. Like, I'm literally living this stuff, and I ain't asked for this. This is just something that just happened. I don't know how this life fell into my lap. I don't really know, but it was through my journey of things that I was experiencing that led me right into this, and I'm still living this stuff out. So it's like nobody can tell me anything different. But I'll see you guys in the next video, because I'll go on, and I'm about to lose storage space again. But we're gonna really get into this, y'all, because Paul is something that don't sit right in my spirit about that Paul. And we know he once used to be Saul before he was turned to Paul. And a lot of them who God had anointed, they went back to wicked ways and then taught those wicked ways to the people. So we're gonna really get into this, but it's something that don't sit right in my spirit about Paul, and we're gonna figure this out, because I seen in this New Testament where he went over there to Rome. And we know a lot of what's going on in America is them Roman tactics, them Catholic ways, and we know that they worship another god. They worship Dagon and them, that nasty, low down, secret life stuff. So we gonna get into it though. We gonna get into it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.